Hands together to welcome Sir. Inviting Shri R.K. Tiwari, retired IAS, former Chief Secretary, Uttar Pradesh and Chairman, Global Grains and Pulses Council. A warm welcome to you, sir. Inviting Dr. M.J. Khan, Chairman Emeritus, Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, ICFA. Warm welcome, sir. Inviting Mr. Deepak Parikh, Director, ICFA, Mr. Vivek Mathur, Executive Director, ICFA, Ms. Shreyasi Agarwal, Executive Director, ICFA, and Ms. Sharmila Oswal, Director, ICFA, and she's also on the board of APIDA and Agro-Food Security Diplomat. A very warm welcome to all our distinguished dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, to begin the proceedings, I would request Dr. M.J. Khan to welcome our dignitaries with a green potted plant. We welcome Shri 𝐈𝐧𝐼𝐻𝐾 Sahu ji. Okay. I would request Shreyasi Agarwal to kindly do the honors of welcoming our dignitaries. We welcome Shri 𝐈𝐧𝐼𝐻𝐾 Sahu ji, Joint Secretary, Oilseeds, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. A very warm welcome to you, sir. We welcome Shri R.K. Tiwari ji, former Chief Secretary, Uttar Pradesh and Chairman, Global Grains and Pulses Council. Thank you very much indeed. And now to formally begin the proceedings, I invite Mr. Vivek Mathur, Executive Director, ICFA, for the welcome address.
Can you hear me? Respected Shri 𝐈𝐧𝐼𝐻𝐾 Sahu, Joint Secretary, Oilseeds, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shri R.K. Tiwari, former Chief Secretary, Uttar Pradesh and Chairman, Global Grains and Pulses Council, Dr. M.J. Khan, Chairman Emeritus, ICFA, distinguished dignitaries, valued partners, colleagues from the industry, and friends. It is a privilege and pleasure to welcome you to this curtain raiser and breakfast meeting, a pivotal moment as we introduce 5 of India Chambers and of Food and Agriculture's most strategic flagship initiatives for 25-26. This year marks 10 years of ICFA's journey as India's foremost platform, dedicated to catalyzing reforms across the food and agriculture landscapes. Established in 2015 under the vision of Dr. M.J. Khan, ICFA today drives trade facilitation, farmer empowerment, and global collaborations. Building on this strong foundation, ICFA now operates under the chairmanship of Shri Suresh Prabhu, former Union Minister of Commerce and Railways. He is supported by an exceptional leadership team that includes Dr. Ashok Dalwal, former Chairman of the Prime Minister's Task Force for Doubling Farmers' Income, and Dr. Tarun Sridhar, former Secretary, Government of India, who now serves as the Director General of ICFA. Under this robust and experienced leadership, ICFA is expanding its global outreach and sectoral impact with greater clarity and speed. Over the years, ICFA has acted as an interface between government, industry, farmers, trade, and the global organizations, bringing convergence across various stakeholders and institutions. Today we have all gathered here to unveil ICFA's 5 major initiatives, each significant in its own right. The first one is scheduled from the 25th to 27th November in Dubai, which is the Grains World. This is a powerful platform where policy, commerce, innovation, and international cooperation will come together to shape the future of global grain trade. At a time when food systems are under immense pressure, grains are no longer just agricultural commodities, they are tools of diplomacy, sustainability, and economic influence. India, with its deep-rooted grain economy, has a central role to play in ensuring global food security. Besides the Grain World, ICFA is also organizing the India-Africa Seed Summit at Hyderabad in September, which will basically strengthen cooperation through seed value chains, development, and innovation. We also have the Agro World India from 16 to 18 December at Lucknow, which would be India's largest agri-business expo, where producers, processors, innovators, investors, traders, and exporters will all be available. The AgTech World, which is from 10th to 12th February 26, will be in Bangalore. This will be a global convergence of technologies reshaping the future of agriculture. AI, precision farming, robotics, and digital platforms. The Delhi Dialogue will be there on sustainable agriculture from 11th to 13th March in Delhi. This will be a policy-focused forum to drive action on climate resilience and resources-efficient agriculture. Together, all these initiatives form a comprehensive blueprint from seed to sustainability, from innovation to influence, anchored in India's agri-economic priorities and global responsibilities. I once again thank you all for your presence and invite you all to actively participate and collaborate with us in organizing these conferences. These will serve as a powerful medium to project India's agricultural leadership to the world. I would again sincerely like to thank Dr. Khan for his support and guidance, and also like to thank my colleagues for all their efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I have the privilege in inviting Dr. M.J. Khan, Chairman Emeritus ICFA, to kindly brief all of us on ICFA's vision and the initiatives. So let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. M.J. Khan.
Good morning to all. Chairman �R𝐾𝐶 साहब, Joint Secretary A.K. Sahu साहब, Deepak ji, Sharmila ji, my colleagues and excellencies. The ICFA journey, I see Maharaj Muthu Sahab, he has come from Rome, and he was very high-ranking official in FAO. In fact, he ran for the DG FAO position. The Prime Minister himself requested to withdraw last minute because of some political considerations. So thank you, Muthu Sahab. You were the part of the ICFA launch in 2015. So just a minute, I'll take about ICFA background and then a little more about the purpose of meeting today. This was 2002, Mr. Suresh Prabhu himself as Power Minister, he met the Prime Minister Vajpayee, and during the discussions it presumably it transpired that FICCI kind of organization needed to be there for food and agriculture. So as he came out of the PMO, he called me up to ask me to come to his residence, and he said, this is what Prime Minister wants, can you initiate on that? While we started consultation process that went on for a few months, the elections were preponed and the government was gone. So our plans to proceed with that political backup, that was also halted. 2014, the government was back, and again we discussed that that's old idea that we need to pick up, and a lot of consultation in this meantime worldwide we did. to understand also that how the such kind of chambers dedicated to one sector functions worldwide. So finally, September 2015, it was launched. Honorable Prime Minister himself had to launch, but the day that we declared, because we clubbed it with the summit on 18th September, Prime Minister and all the heads of nations are always in New York. We couldn't understand when we declared the date. So ultimately, Rajnath ji launched it with Governor of Haryana, Governor of Punjab. Professor Swaminathan, of course, has been part and parcel of it from the very beginning. For last 25 years, so closely we worked. And there were, I remember, some 18 secretaries government of India in the audience in the launch, and about double the number of the ambassadors in the audience. So it was a very powerful launch. Since then, a very rapid pace of action, started thinking rapid pace of action that characterized the functioning of ICFA. So I remember 2016, we met the Honorable Prime Minister, and in the discussion, Dowalsa was also there. I told him, sir, because of you, the Indians' recognition worldwide has gone up, because you are taking the India to the world so fast. And then he, with a curious this thing, he looked at me. So I said, ICFA has just been launched last year. It does not have even its brochure. It does not have even website. And University of California, Davis campus, the #1 university in agriculture, they agreed to sign a MOU with us. This would not have been possible for University of California to sign up with an organization had the time for India not come. So there is a global rise, and thanks to the leadership that has been very stable government and political environment and the consistent economic growth, is a bright spot of the world in terms of large economies growing fast. So India is, of course. We started with the roundtable meetings on each subsector. Almost every month, 1 or 2 roundtables we used to have of all prominent person, and at the end of the roundtable, we used to launch the sectoral working group, about 30 managing directors and 10 or 15 other officials, heads of institution, all that. So we used to call. So a very rapid pace happened. 2018, we had our very large conference, Agro World. So first Agro World. So I still remember 5 governors, 7 central federal ministers, Vice President of India, and lot more people that participated in that 4 days. And Professor Swaminathan, of course, was this thing. So 2 years later, that COVID affected us like that. So we are rebuilding it. So I hope that this video we are able to get. The 4 or 5 programs that have been Agro World is, of course, this will be 4th Agro World, but Seed World promises a lot of possibilities for not only African, but Asian and other countries as well, because Hyderabad is the seed hub. And therefore, it's being hosted in Hyderabad. There are a lot of possibilities of how the low-cost seed produced for many Asian and African countries can make a lot of difference, because seed is the basic material. Hyderabad will be a very ideal place, because the seed production ecosystem and R&D that you see, the processing that you see, and a lot of companies are very keen. In fact, yesterday the President of National Seed Industry Association, Prabhakar Rao, was here. Agro World is being hosted in Lucknow, which is the population of that is greater than probably half of the Europe put together. It's about 224 million people in Uttar Pradesh, and future possibilities, Satyendra ji will agree. So Uttar Pradesh, this Agro World will be fine. AgTech World, I have a lot of possibilities that I see. Of course, detailing will be done by colleagues, because the Bangalore, it is being hosted, and Bangalore is the hub of technologies and agro technologies. So I'm very confident. We are structuring it on the pattern of AgriTech, World AgriTech in California every year, that draws about 2,000 people, and very, very powerful program. So let's see that how far we reach. The most important Grains World, of course, Deepak ji can explain more, so I'll skip it. But Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture, this is a program I think designed for March 26. We look forward to, because climate change is a very, very serious subject that world leaders are engrossed to find solutions to that. India has tremendous learnings of different kind of, one that NICRA, National Initiative of Climate Resilient Agriculture, but many more. There are a lot of, that eco-agriculture and the natural farming systems, and a lot of diversity in agriculture production system in the country, and therefore the similar kind of diversity of learnings how to cope up with the challenge of climate change. So therefore, the Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture, India makes perfect model to be showcased to the world, and therefore we expect that a lot of world leaders should be assembling here on the occasion of that. We are reaching out that 9 ministries. Of course, Minister of External Affairs is extremely keen. Now it is between Agriculture Ministry and the External Affairs Ministry. So I think we'll be making very serious initiative on this Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture, pattern on the Raisina Dialogue. Many of you may be attending. But Raisina Dialogue is basically a diplomatic dialogue. So this agriculture and that sustainable agriculture, that makes a lot more sense. So thank you very much for all of you being part of it. And I think this, as we progress, some more interaction and question answers also, that we'll be happy to attend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Khan, for kindly sharing and giving us a brief on ICFA's vision and initiatives that are being taken in the upcoming days. And ladies and gentlemen, we now present before you a short clip on ICFA's journey and events.
At the heart of India's agricultural transformation stands the Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, a dynamic institution connecting grassroots innovations to global partnerships and policy frameworks to practical solutions. Founded in 2015 by visionary leaders, policymakers, scientists, and agribusiness pioneers, ICFA is India's apex body for agriculture and food sectors recognized by the Ministry of Commerce. Led by Shri Suresh Prabhu, former Union Cabinet Minister and India's G20 Sherpa, ICFA works to shape policy, foster partnerships, and catalyze investments. Through its councils, working groups, and international collaborations, ICFA empowers farmers, promotes innovation, and advances sustainable food systems. Our initiatives, India-Africa Seed Summit 2025 in Hyderabad on September 11th to 13th, a high-impact platform for India-Africa collaboration in seed trade, technology transfer, and regulatory harmonization. Co-hosted with the African Seed Trade Association, the summit will feature deliberations on resilient seed systems, public-private partnerships, and access to quality seeds. Delegates will visit leading institutions like ICRISAT and the Indian Institute of Rice Research, with the event culminating in the Seed Business Awards. Grains World 2025 in Dubai on November 11th to 13th. After a landmark debut in 2024, the second edition of Grains World positions itself as the global epicenter for trade, innovation, and dialogue on cereals, pulses, millets, and food security. In partnership with the Dubai Department of Economy and Tourism, it brings together ministers, CEO traders, and scientists. Highlights include ministerial roundtables, CEO forums, trade exhibitions, and the Grains World Awards. Agro World 2025 in Lucknow on December 16th to 18th, India's largest agribusiness gathering, will bring together over 10,000 participants from 30+ countries. The event will feature agri-tech expos, B2B meets, international conferences, and thematic sessions on horticulture, livestock, aquaculture, organic farming, and value chain financing. It remains India's leading platform for end-to-end agriculture development. AgTech 2026 in Bengaluru on February 10 to 12, a dedicated initiative nurturing agri-startups and promoting digital agriculture, precision farming, and emerging technologies like AI, IoT, and biotechnology. Through forums, investor connects, and policy dialogues, AgTech fosters innovation-driven rural transformation and inclusive growth. Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture 2026 in Delhi on March 11th to 13th, a global platform to address climate change and its impact on agriculture. The event will engage global leaders, scientists, innovators, and policymakers to explore sustainable practices, climate-resilient crops, renewable energy integration, and digital solutions for a low-carbon, inclusive agri-future. Each ICFA initiative isn't just an event. It's a movement connecting local solutions with global challenges. From Grains World to Agro World and the India-Africa Seed Summit to AgTech, ICFA is building bridges between science and sustainability, governments and grassroots, and today's issues and tomorrow's solutions. This is India's agricultural transformation in motion. Join the journey. Shape the change.
Thank you very much indeed. And I'm sure each one of you is looking forward to all these events. And now we take a moment to release the brochures of ICFA's flagship event, which have all the details regarding this event. First, let me introduce, joining us virtually is Mr. K.S. Narayanaswamy. He is Chairman, Geobiotech India Private Limited. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And We would request our dignitaries to release the brochure for India-Africa Seed Summit. Thank you very much indeed. Next, I would request Mr. Deepak Parekh, Director ICFA, to kindly present the brochure of Grains World. Oh. Delhi dialogue दे दिया यार तुमने. Grains World. This is for 𝐸CTech World. Thank you. Grains World. Coming up next is the release of 𝐸CTech World. We now release the India-Africa Seed Summit. Earlier we had done the 𝐸CTech World. We thank our dignitaries for doing the honors. We now release the brochure of Agro World India. Mr. Tushar Sharma is here with us. And finally, we would request Ms. Sharmila Oswal, Director ICFA, to present the brochure on Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture. And we thank all our dignitaries for doing the honors of releasing all these brochures of ICFA's flagship events coming up in the near future. These brochures have all the details about the ICFA's flagship events. Please do not forget to grab a copy of yours from the registration counter before you leave the venue. Thank you. And we would now like to open the floor for questions, if any of you have, regarding these flagship events of ICFA that are coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, before we open the floor for question and answers, we would like to invite our special guest, Shri Ajit Kumar Sahu ji, Joint Secretary, Oilseeds and Department of Agriculture. Okay. Okay, since we have Mr. K.S. Narayanaswamy, Chairman Geo Biotech India Private Limited, joined us virtually. We would request you, sir, if you would like to throw some light on the upcoming events. So over to you. Very briefly, we don't have much time. You can take a minute. Just a minute we have. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. It's indeed my honor and privilege to speak few words on the upcoming event, India-Africa Seed Summit, which is one of the flagship events, and it is going to connect India and Africa seed industry and to utilize each other's technology advantages, and also to have B2B opportunities for both the countries. India, with its diverse agroclimatic zones and food production systems and advanced seed, robust regulatory framework, and emerges as one of the global leader, Indian seed production and innovation productivity, ensuring food security to the millions of India's building a dynamic seed sector. In fact, Africa also has an emerging opportunities for the seed sector, and it is going to be a big opportunity for both the countries, both the continents, to come together and share some of their technologies which are available. We have chosen Hyderabad as a strategic place for this event because Hyderabad has more than 400 seed companies, and it is a seed production hub, and it is also the place for the CGR institutions like ICFA and also CEMET and other public sector institutions. And in fact, Hyderabad has a lot of potential, and there are a lot of infrastructure around Hyderabad to show to the delegates who are going to be part of this event, and that will help them to get the better infrastructure facilities and the knowledge they can carry to the African countries to just carry on with their activities. In fact, our objective is to access to quality seeds to smallholder farmers, climate smart varieties with indigenous germplasm, which is available both in public and private sector, and the seed systems and policies and trade. And basically, promoting the entrepreneurship and the various value chain activities. Basically, the objective is to go develop, go invest, and go innovate to harvest the success through this event, which is going to be a global event with participation of more than 300 delegates from both India as well as Africa.
Thank you, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Productivity and prosperity.
Mr. Narayanaswamy, sorry to interrupt you here. Since we are running out of time, I would request you to kindly stay back with us in case there are some questions.
We are going to have
in case we have
B2B
some questions for you.
Technical sessions, etc. And this is going to be a great opportunity for everyone who participate and to carry with the best takeaways will be available from.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And I would now quickly request Mr. Deepak Parekh to explain about in few lines about Grains World and EgTech World. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. First of all, happy Guru Purnima to all. I start with a couplet. Guru Govind doun khade kaake lagu par, baliyari Guru aapke Govind diye bataye. Now that's the essence of both these events. We'll be having gurus, experts from all across the world. We are having friends from Africa, from Brazil, Argentina, Middle East. All would be converging in Dubai to talk about trade, talk about how we can make world more food secure, as well as nutritionally secured. Also see to it that how we can leverage the cross-border trade among these countries. And we know that we are going through some turbulence when it comes to global trade. And the Grains World in Dubai would be a platform where you'll find the solutions to these turbulence and take the world forward and make it more food secure. Now coming to the AgriTech World 2026, India is a country which is having amongst the highest number of AgTech companies. We have seen our processes in biotech, in AI, as well as in the field of drones, IoT, and this is where we thought, let's bring the whole of the world. When we talk about the companies from US, companies from China, companies from Middle East, companies from Europe, come here and see to it that actually we all work together to again ensure that our small and marginal farmers, they get the technology in affordable and in efficient way. So I would pause here. Thanks a lot, and looking forward for all of you to be part of these two awesome events in India and in Dubai. Thank you.
Thank you. And I now hand over to Ms. Sharmila Oswal, Director ICFA, and agro-food security diplomat, also on the board of APIDA, to kindly share her remarks on these upcoming events. Sure, ma'am.
Good morning, respected dignitaries on the dais and ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed pleasure and privilege that today, in the world of all global trade complexities, if you have witnessed last week, may it call it as a mini trade deal or the bilateral agreements with Europe or United States of America, India always dared to say no, and that itself proves that how India proving as a global leader in agtech, agriculture, digital agriculture, or precision farming. Today we are talking about the climate resilience. If you see, India submitted the proposal to the United Nations, and the 72 countries which accepted the proposal and declared millet, which is a climate resilient crop, and all over the world, millet so-called as an animal feeder, which was accepted by the world to eat as a regular food, nutritious food, and the most healthy food. So we are going towards the climate resilient economy. So will we call COP29, 28 as a failure when we are setting the benchmark of $300 billion of the target, setting the agenda at the same time, violating by committing to the carbon footprints, all the fossil fuel by the attendees to the COPs, all whatever happened all over the world. Here I present ICFA, which is coming up as a global leader, setting up the another precedent and benchmark to the world, where India, whenever there is any kind of, for example, the mini trade deals or whatever agreements or exports, where we are able to have our stand on protecting the environment, protecting the agriculture, protecting the regenerative sustainable agriculture. So this is the forum where we are all committing together to have the climate resilient economy, setting up the appropriate climate resilient finance agenda for having the sustainable agriculture. Here, on behalf of ICFA, I invite you all for upcoming the summit on the Delhi Dialogue on Sustainable Agriculture. Thank you, Jai Hind.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have few minutes for the question and answer session. In case you have any questions, you may kindly raise your hands and ask them. Otherwise, our directors from ICFA will be around here throughout the day. You can also connect with them on one-to-one basis for any more information that you need to have. And ladies and gentlemen, we would also like to welcome Honorable Board Member Ms. Purvi Mehta. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am, for joining us now. And in case there are no more questions, I would now like to invite for the special address Shri Ajit Kumar Sahu ji, Joint Secretary, Oilseeds, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored that Sir could spare his valuable time and give it to us here. Let's put our hands together to welcome.
Thank you, and very good morning to all of you, respected Tiwari sir, and all the dignitaries on dais, and friends, colleagues, diplomats here present in this August gathering. It's my honor and privilege to speak here and discuss these important events. First of all, I would like to congratulate ICFA for thoughtfully designing and organizing these events. These are the time to discuss on these issues, and these are very important issues, and I think this is going to be one of the events which are directly discussing the food security and nutrition security issues, because those are very important for whole of the world, not only for our country. I always remember that when I started my career, and I met one of the agriculture scientists, I forget his name, and he just said one line to me, and it stuck in my mind, that nobody in the world can feed India. And that line was it's overwhelmed me that how much food security is important. And this large population, we have to be self-dependent, and we have to be producing that much that serves our people. And this is true for the whole world as well. Today we are 8 billion, and in few years we are going to be 9 billion by 2030, and 2050 I think 10 billion. And that 10 billion population is going to be there for more than 50 years. And after 50 years, this will start decreasing. In such scenario, understand the requirement of the food. The calorie requirement, which is at present is, if you see the present level, it is going to increase by 30 to 40%. So in the coming years, and it will retain there for very long time. And see the resources, like in India, what we are having, less than 3% of water, less than 4% of water and agriculture land, and we have to serve the population which is 17-18% of the world population, and the cattle population also 15-16%. So it's a huge challenge. It's a strain on the resources, and that's why this sector becomes very important. We have to innovate, we have to invest in this sector, and that investment is not only that in the agriculture, but also for the agriculture. If you see from Indian perspective, that's 10% of our budget is directly going in the agriculture. If you take that agriculture ministry's budget, fertilizer, food procurement, everything clubbing together, it's a more than 5 lakh crore. So that's nearly 10% of our budget is going. And if you see that investment for the agriculture, if you see then rural development something, it is enormous. So that is a very right decision which is happening, and we are seeing this result that our extreme poverty has come down drastically, and that is very important for sustaining this food security and food nutrition security. And the latest our expenditure survey also shows that people have started that our share in the people's share in the expenditure on the food has come down quite drastically. And also it is showing that diversification is happening. Earlier, more and more expenditure was going on the cereals and the food crop, direct food cereals, and now it is going towards the protein sources also. So that diversification is coming, but also there is that's a lot of processed food. That expenditure is also going towards the processed food. That's a different aspect. I will not discuss this right at the present time. But that what I want to say is that this is the right time. We should discuss about these issues and find out the solution. What I feel, there are many things besides investment that we have to strengthen the infrastructure, and we have to also look for the climate resilient agriculture solutions. We have discussed about the millet and other things. Simultaneously, a lot of new innovations are coming. Even the new seed varieties which are coming, that is not only biofortified but also that climate resilient. In India, the ICR has released in last 10 years more than 2,000 varieties which are climate resilient. So these are the forums where we can discuss, and like in the India-Africa Seed Summit, that would be very right platform to discuss about the seeds and how these seeds can benefit other part of the world as well, and how we can take benefit from take benefit from each other by sharing. Like India is already having a seed without border agreement with some of the countries in 9-8 countries. Similar type of opportunity exists in with the African countries, and we have that very diverse agroclimatic zone and we have seeds for nearly each and every situation. But there are also lack of research in the seed sector. We are here. We have our friends from Netherlands. We are in touch with them for that improving the research in seed sector, and also that doing joint work in the African countries. So that will open up number of such opportunities. So there are a lot of other opportunities, and similarly, I would also like to draw your attention towards that growing startup sector in India. That nearly 3,000 startups are working in India, which are directly working in the agriculture. And if we club that startups in the food sector, it is coming to around 9,000. And these startups are why very important, because they are providing innovative and modern solution at very affordable cost. That is very important, because the technology exists. A lot of technologies are there, but many of our countries and many of the countries of the south, they are not able to afford that technology. And what we were discussing, because in the size of our farms are getting smaller and smaller. We have nearly 16 crores of farmland and 14 crores of our farmer population. So that number of farmers. So if you see that it's around less than 1 hectare, that the size of the farmland in India. So the technology should be as such that it remove their drudgery, not that it replaces them. So because the 45% of our population is dependent on the agriculture. So similar is the situation in many of the countries in the African and Latin America also. But Latin America has a lot of large farmers there. But in the many of the countries, the farmers are small. And the solution which we are offering in India, which we are looking for, is should be suitable for the small farmers. And we have to keep this in mind, why they are very important, because if you see that most of the food is being produced by these small farmers. Though we have 580 million of that family farmers, out of that 520 million are small farmers, and they are producing more than 40% of the food. So we should protect them, we should take care of them, and we should empower them. And that is why not only that in the morning Tiwari sir was discussing that the income of the farmers is coming mostly from the non-agriculture sector. So that means non-agriculture activity. So this is very important, that we should give benefit of the agriculture activity and the value chain to the farmer. So that is what India is taking lead in that. We are promoting that farmer producer organization. We are making policies which are bringing the farmers in clusters. So these type of policy innovations are required. These type of policies need to be shared with each other, so that we can not only take the protect the farmer, but also ensure the food security of the world. So these are some of my thoughts which I would share here. And I once again congratulate ICFA for conceptualizing and organizing such events. We will be fully providing all type of support, and wherever required, we will be there. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that insightful address we had from you, and we also extend gratitude to you for extending your support to all of us. Thank you very much indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, before we move ahead, I would also like to acknowledge the august presence of Miss Manisha Gupta. She is the commodity editor at CNBC. Let's put our hands together to welcome her. Thank you very much indeed, ma'am, for joining us. And now, ladies, I request you to kindly come forward, so that there's a seat, if you could kindly occupy that seat. Thank you very much indeed, and once again a very warm welcome. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the concluding remarks for this special breakfast meeting and ICFA curtain raiser, I would like to invite Shri R.K. Tiwari ji. He is the former Chief Secretary, Uttar Pradesh, and Chairman, Global Grains and Pulses Council. We would like to welcome you, sir, for your address.
Very good morning to you all. The chief guest of today's function, Shri 𝐒𝐭, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. M.J. Khan, the former chairman of ICFA, but the torchbearer, the force behind this entire organization, friends on the dais and present here in front of me in the hall, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a matter of privilege for me to be part of today's breakfast meeting in the curtain raiser for the two-day conference which is underway. I am really very happy that ICFA in the last 10 years has blossomed into a big tree from a small seed, which was sown by Dr. M.J. Khan a decade before. In fact, I have had the privilege of meeting Dr. Khan for more than 30 years. And with the amount of passion and amount of commitment and dedication that he has been working, it is truly remarkable. He began with Agriculture Today, which is still continuing. And he used to meet all the stakeholders individually, persuading them, asking them, taking them along for the growth and journey of agriculture. And it is so heartening that now he has placed this council at the global level, and there is partnering with everyone, almost all the stakeholders possible at all the scales. So congratulations to you and my best wishes. When we talk about agriculture, there are different perspectives. And I have myself been associated with agriculture directly also in the Ministry of Agriculture. I was their Joint Secretary many years before. And then in other positions in the state also, I have had the chance to work in the agriculture sector very closely. Now, I look at agriculture story of India as a very successful story, in spite of all the challenges. And mind you, these challenges are something which are not easily addressable. For example, Mr. Sahu mentioned about decreasing or smaller land holdings, fragmenting land holdings. Now, we have been talking about it, at least in my last 38, 39 years of being in the government. We have been talking about it, but there is no ready-made solution to it. There have been many policy decisions, but we continue to find, in fact, in last 6-7 years itself, the holdings have come down. So now there are some constraints which are given. How do we respond to these constraints is something that is in our hand. If today our agriculture holding is just about 0.7 hectare per agriculture household, what can be the technology, what can be the mechanization to support these kind of holdings, rather than crying about it all the time? That is a challenge for us. And it is doable, particularly in today's age of high technology, artificial intelligence. We can address the smaller holdings also effectively. At least today, thanks to our farmers, thanks to the scientists, thanks to the government policies, and thanks to organizations like ICFA and everyone who is working in the agriculture sector, we are quite self-sufficient in food grains. Nobody goes hungry now while going to bed. Even the poorest of poor, there is a way to give them food. And when I had joined the service, when I used to go to villages, we used to find that there are many people who are saying that, look, they have not had their food for the last 2 days. But no more today. But then, that is not something to be complacent about or to be satisfied about. Issue would always be, could we grow more? They have been growing in terms of production. There are all kinds of data about CAGR being 3%, 2.5%. Even the yields also have been growing. But could we grow better? Can we grow better? Certainly, I think everyone in this house would agree that there's always a room for doing better. And how to do that better, how to achieve collectively those milestones which we have yet to receive, is something for us to work together. There are some concerns also that need to be addressed. While government is committed, and the Joint Secretary will also agree that farmers' income has to be doubled and there has to be increasing, because unless the income of farmers and all stakeholders in agriculture continue to grow, agriculture would not be attracting, and it will not be attracting the investments, it will not be attracting the efforts and commitment from these stakeholders. I was going through the situational assessment of agriculture household 2019. Now that talks about that even the growers, the farmers' income from cultivation is down to about 37%. And their income from wages is 48%. I think it should not be just the other way around, but even much more different. The income from farms have to be maybe 70%, 80% or even more. Then only we can say that agriculture is remunerative. Agriculture continues to be most unpredictable business. Whether it is production is concerned, whether the rainfall, because so much agriculture is rain-fed, the seed availability, the pest management, so many things remain in the arena of uncertainties. The production is uncertain. The measurement of production itself is a challenge. The real-time availability of data is a challenge, both for the farmers, for the business, and for the even governments at times. And even the demand. What kind of demand? How much food grain we need to grow? How much pulses we require? There are forecasts. But then these demands keep changing. In fact, if we look at the next generation, I look at my own house. When we prepare to make our meals, a person like me is always become very comfortable to have, dal, roti, sabji and all these traditional Indian dishes at our house. But today's generation, are they equally happy to have these kind of meals, or their meal habits are changing? And if their meal habits are changing, if they are going into more kind of protein-rich diets, or they are going into more of soybean or more into this, are we able to assess their demands, and are we able to plan for those? For sure, these demands are going to change, and we are not going to always remain a primarily wheat, paddy governed agriculture. The demand on foods are going to be increased. The demands on pulses are going to be increased. Demands on millets are going to be increased. So how do we align our missions, our technologies to meet these demands would be a challenge. Climate change is often highlighted, and I'm happy that ICFA is having a exclusive initiative on this. And together with climate change, I don't hear much about water. Water itself is going to become a very major challenge. And in fact, when we talk about, when we talk about productivity and yields all over the world, water availability and water use itself remains a major challenge. I am happy that these four major events, Grain World, AgTech World, Agro World India, and India Africa Seeds, are very relevant. I call upon all of you to participate, to exchange ideas, and let us work together for having better outcomes in agriculture and food sector. I'm sorry that time is limited. The Joint Secretary also has to go. There are sessions, I think, lined up in today's, so we will have more opportunities and time to discuss those. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And we also thank Shri Ajit Kumar Sahu ji. And can we request for a group photograph, sir, before sir leaves?